Lavere and Associates on the Hurt Line right now.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Tara Lenizak. Thank you for watching your news at noon on this Memorial Day. We are taking you for a live look outside Providence right now. Take a look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. Great day to be outside today, Skylar, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are very sunny outside, little breezy. We've had that cold front that's moved through, and that's keeping those winds a little heavy. So we're seeing those wind gusts up to about 20 miles an hour. But we're going to stay in those mid 60s to the 70s for eastern Mass and Rhode Island. And we do have this warming trend that's moving back into our area midweek. So just deal with these 70-degree temperatures for today and tomorrow. So yeah, here again is that view outside. Nice, pretty blue skies, lots of sunshine going on. And we're looking at some of these temperatures right now. It's 70 degrees in Providence now. We see it's a little bit more warmer as we head to the western areas, but even heading up to Boston, 67 in Norwood, 65 in Boston, and even the Cape right now sitting in those low to mid 60s. So not so bad this morning and afternoon time now that we're into the lunchtime hour. Newport, 69 degrees, winds are out of the east northeast at 13 miles an hour. So here's what's going on. So we had this cold front that went ahead and moved on through. So it's taken a couple hours to get through, but now it's finally pushed on past us. And we do have some of those breezy conditions now. So we'll be a little bit cooler today than what we saw yesterday. So we're going to be about 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. But for today, still sunny skies, slightly cooler. You can see this temperature range. So some of us will even get into those low 70s, but the winds are going to be sticking around today out of the northeast, 10 to 20 miles an hour. They do start to taper off later on today. So they do finally move on out. But if you're maybe taking the week off, because a lot of people have, the coastal forecast, if you're heading out anywhere, 62 for tomorrow, 65 on Wednesday, and Thursday back into the 70s. I'm going to have more details on your forecast coming up in just a moment.
All right, Skylar.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker meteorologist, Skylar Spindler.
Well, it's a little bit cooler today than what we saw yesterday, but gorgeous blue skies for as far as we can see as we're looking outside. And that's because we had that cold front that moved through just a couple hours ago. It finally pushed itself all the way through, and now this brought us a little bit of some gusty winds, so you can feel that outside. So we're not going to warm up like we did yesterday, but we will keep those winds around as we head into the afternoon hour. So right now, here's a look at those sustained wind speeds around the area. So some of us are seeing those 20-mile-an-hour speeds. So this will be with us as we move through the day. Now, by the time we get into the evening hours, they do taper off a bit, but Nantucket's showing 30 miles an hour and sustained wind speeds. Temperatures right now, we've warmed up a little bit. We're in those upper 60s and some 70s around the area. So Providence sitting at 70 degrees right now, Smithfield at 68. And then as you head a little bit further west, slightly warmer, but for our area in the Cape, we're in those 60s right now. So here's a look at the northeast high. So you can see 84 degrees in Philadelphia, 80 in Buffalo for today. A little bit of a cooler area. That's because that's rain-cooled air from that low-pressure system that's been stuck over the Carolinas for the entire weekend. But just something to look forward to when we get into the next couple of days. We do have some of this warm air that's going to start moving back into the area by the time we get into the midweek. So today, sunny and slightly cooler. Winds out of the northeast, 10 to 20 miles an hour. And we can see those temperatures ranging between 62 around the coastline area all the way into 72 inland. So not a bad day. And if you're heading out maybe to do some fishing or boating today, we do have that northeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. The high tide comes in at 4:06 p.m. Low tide will be at 10:20 tonight. We've got those 1 to 2 feet swells. Water temperature still a bit chilly, 59 degrees. So allergy forecast. So if you're being bothered by this today, we're a little bit medium high today, and that's because the oak, birch, and grass is really coming in. But tomorrow and Wednesday, we do kind of taper off a bit before we rise back up slightly on Thursday. Now on Friday, we do have some scattered spotty showers that will be moving into the area in the afternoon hours. So expect after 2-3 o'clock, we can see some of these spotty showers in the afternoon into the early evening. But then again, that's going to quickly move out. So again, like I said, it's just spotty. It's not going to ruin your day. And a lot of you guys won't even see anything out of it. So we're probably looking at about a 20 to 30% on those rain showers on Friday. But for today and tomorrow, we're going to be in those 70s. We warm up into the 80s on Wednesday, mid 80s Thursday and Friday before the rain moves in. And then when that rain moves in, that cools our air down a bit. And by Saturday, we're looking at those low 70s and the 60s on the coastline area. And then we're back on a warming trend after Sunday.
Yeah, looking very beautiful for the week.
Yeah, you know, not too bad of a little mini roller coaster ride.
Not too bad at all. And I always know when I was growing up too, going to school, it was always really tough to go back to school after vacation if it was rainy or really cold that day. So I'm happy that people that are going back to work tomorrow or school, it's going to be nice out, 72.
Right, yeah, no, tomorrow will be nice. So I like those 70s and 60s.
Yes,
so you know I like those,
absolutely.
but it's fine. I think it's better to be in a little bit of more of this stable pattern than with, you know, seeing the drastic numbers that we've seen, you know, in the past couple weeks.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Looking like a beautiful week. All
Yeah,
right. Thank
excited.
you, Skylar. Okay. Much more to come on your news at noon. A terrifying sight at the Indy 500 as a tire, it flew at the grandstand. More on this. For more than $600,000. Now he plans to buy a new car while saving the rest of his winnings. How amazing is that?
That's such a great story.
Yeah.
$1 million? One scratch off?
Amazing. I'm doing
Yeah.
something wrong with my scratch tickets. I don't know.
Maybe it was meant to be for
The
him
universe
to run
was
out of
working
gas.
for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, what are the odds of that? That's good. Good
Yeah.
stuff. I love it. Okay.
All right.
Well, you know what else is good? This forecast.
Uh-huh.
Sunny today. A little bit cooler than what we saw yesterday, but I'll take it. I like these temperatures. Winds, they're a little breezy today. Out of the northeast, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Some of us are seeing a little bit heavier than that, but most of us 10 to 20 miles an hour today. And here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Warming up tomorrow, will be in the 80s by Wednesday, mid 80s by Thursday and Friday. We do have some rain moving in on Friday, but it's just scattered and spotty around the area in the afternoon. And then by Saturday, will be 71 just because we have that rain cooled air moving in on Friday night. So it'll only keep us in those lower 70s on Saturday, but starting to warm back up by Sunday.
All right, looking perfect. Thanks for making ABC 6 News at noon a part of your day. The news continues first at 4. And for news and weather anytime, abc6.com is always on. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Watch
ABC 6 meteorologist Skylar Spindler. She's here with your 6 o'clock forecast. Hey, Skylar.
Good morning. So here's what we're looking at for today. We're going to be sunny and breezy around the area, lower 70s for eastern Mass and Rhode Island, but we do have a warming trend that's going to be moving in later on this week. So right now in Providence, it's 62 degrees, winds are out of the northeast at about 18 miles an hour. And here's a look at some of those temperatures around the area as you're waking up at 64 in Norwood, 63 in Boston. And as we look along the South Shore, 62 in Plymouth, and then over in Falmouth, 55 degrees, 64 in Chatham right now if you are along the Cape area. So here's what's going to be happening for today. We do have a backdoor cold front that's going to be moving through our area here shortly. So we should be starting to see that moving through right about now. It'll make its way through in the next couple of hours. That's going to keep our temperatures slightly cooler today than what we saw yesterday. So we'll still have some sunshine around, but we'll see those temperatures in those mid to upper 60s, a few of us reaching 70 degrees, but winds will be out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour, but I have more details in your forecast in just a moment.
She has your forecast on the 6th.
If you're waking up this morning, it's a little warm outside, which is kind of nice. We were very nice and warm yesterday. We're starting out warm this morning. We got a lot of those 60s around the area, 64 in Norwood, 62 in Providence, 63 in Smithfield, along the coastline area, 60 in Newport, and we're looking at 55 in Falmouth. But we have a cold front that's going to start to move through. So right now, Newport showing 60 degrees with winds out of the northeast at 13 miles an hour, and that's just showing that front starting to move through the area. So here's that front. It's going to be making its way through our area right now. So this will be the next couple hours. It'll work its way in, and that's going to keep us cooler for the day. So expect those temperatures to be about 10 to even 20 degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday. So we're going to be looking at those 60s closer to the Cape and the coastline, and we'll be in the 70s as we head much further inland. But we do have a lot of sunshine today. It'll be breezy, northeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, and they'll be gusting up to 20 miles an hour. So we will be slightly cooler for today. So allergies, well, we're still about the medium high range for today. Tomorrow we back off a bit, and then for Wednesday we're backing down a little bit as well, but Thursday we start to rise back up. By the time we get into Friday, though, should be a little bit better just because we do have that rain moving in. So for the coastal forecast, maybe you took the rest of the week off. Not too bad. We got some low 60s for today, 66 for Wednesday, and then moving into Thursday, we'll be in the 70s along the coastline. Water temp is warming up, so expect this temperature to be rising a bit since we've had some of those warmer days. But I'm going to have more details on your full forecast and that rain that is moving into the area here in just a few moments.
Let's take you outside to Thurbers Ave at 6:08 with our ABC. Taking a look outside at 6:16 with our ABC6 Sky Cam. Seeing the sun out there. How beautiful. Here's ABC6 meteorologist Skylar Spindler with a check of your forecast.
It's a bit of a golden hour right now as we're looking across Providence this morning. Nice clear skies, pretty nice temperatures through the overnight. We're seeing 63 in Smithfield, 64 in Norwood. So we didn't get entirely too cold in the overnight. It's 60 degrees in Newport, and then along the Cape area, 55 in Falmouth, and all the way in Chatham, 64 degrees. So again, not so bad, but we have a cold front that's moving through. So here's a look at the northeast highs around the area. So you can see some of these nice 80-degree temperatures in Buffalo, 84. Bit of a cold spot here. That's rain cooled air. That's from that low pressure system that has been stuck off the Carolinas. But we start to head back into a warming trend later on this week, and we'll see some of these 80s get into our area. So for today, we do have this cold front that's going to be moving through the area this morning. So our temperature is not too bad, but we don't warm up a whole lot. So we'll see those 10 to 15 degree cooler temperatures today than what we saw yesterday. That cold front gets through the area. By the time we get into tomorrow, we do stay a little bit cooler again for tomorrow, but we start to warm up by Wednesday. So for today, those winds as this front's moving through, we're seeing about 15 and even up to 20 miles an hour for the wind speeds, and that's just going to be as this front moves through the area, and then once it kind of gets on past, it'll start to taper off and die down in the later on hours. So we're expecting those winds to be gusting up to 20 miles an hour. We'll keep the Cape and the coastline area in those lower 60s. As you move a little bit further in them, we'll be in the 70s. So sunny and slightly cooler for today. And if you're in Newport, maybe you're heading out, a little sailing today, low tide at 9:11 a.m., high tide comes in at 4:24 p.m. Swells will be about 1 to 2 feet. Water temperature's a little bit warmer right now, 59 degrees. So allergies might still be bothering you today. We're running a little bit in that medium to high range. It's oak, birch, and grass right now. Tuesday, we taper off a bit, and Wednesday as well, but Thursday we kind of rise back up some. So we should be tapering off as we get into Friday because we do also have some rain that's going to be moving through the area. So expect some scattered showers in the afternoon time on Friday. It's not going to be a rain out event. Just expect some of those spotty pop-up showers throughout the evening hours. So we'll be in the 70s today and tomorrow. We're back into the 80s by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A little bit cooler as we head into Saturday and Sunday, but overall we are sitting in those pretty, I would say, almost summer-like temperatures that's rolling into the area. What would you say about that?
Oh, very summer-like. For May, great. Heading into June, perfect.
Yeah, no, I think this is a good example of what's to come here.
Yeah.
You know, as we start to get into June now.
Summer's finally here. Can't wait. No more snow, no more jackets, no more rain. Just every day cold and gray. That was a mess.
Yes, no, today I didn't even do the jacket. So nice outside.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't really need the jacket. No,
nice and calm, but now the winds are picking up, so. But it'll be fine because we're rebounding. We'll be back in the 80s by Wednesday. So like you were saying earlier, good golf weather.
Great golf weather. Great golf weather if you have to go with your, boyfriend or significant other to sit there at the golf course all day to watch them. Hey, it's perfect too. Shout out to my sister. She's a champ that does that. All right. It's 6:19 still to come on Good Morning Providence. Do or die. It's Game 7 tonight at the TD Garden as the Celtics. 6:25, here's ABC6 meteorologist Skylar Spindler with your forecast.
You know, maybe you have something fun planned today and you don't have to go into work. So if you're maybe heading out along the Cape, we're going to see some of those 60s early this morning. So 10 a.m. That's because we have a front moving through. So we're looking at 63 degrees roughly along the Cape. There's some good golf courses out here as well by Plymouth. So, as you're heading through the afternoon, we're going to see again some of those 60s. So you're pretty much going to level off in those low 60s today. But for everyone else, we warm up inland a bit, so we'll see those mid to upper 60s, a few of us hitting 70-degree temperatures, but sunny, slightly cooler today, looking at about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday. Winds are out of the northeast, 5 to 15 miles an hour, gusting up to 20 miles an hour, and those winds are moving in with the front. So that front is moving across our area, pretty much starting to move in right now over the next couple hours. So for tomorrow, we're going to be a little cool start, but then by the time we get into the afternoon, again, kind of what we're seeing today, just a little bit warmer for tomorrow than what we're seeing today, but kind of a repeat. But moving into Wednesday, we do warm back up into the 80s. So expect Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to be in those mid 80s. Nice weather outlook as we start to head into the rest of the week.
Forecast. Good morning, Skylar.
Good morning. Well, here's what we're expecting for today. It's going to be sunny and breezy because we have a cold front moving through. That's going to keep those temperatures a little bit cooler today than what we saw yesterday. So a lower 70s, even some upper 60s for eastern Mass and Rhode Island. And then it warms as you head further inland. Warming trend does come back into play as we head into the middle of the week. So Providence is 62 degrees right now. Winds are out of the northeast at 18 miles an hour. So that tells me that front is really trying to work its way through the area right now. Here's a look at those temperatures around the area. It's 64 degrees in Norwood, 63 up in Boston, and then we have 63 in Smithfield, 55 down in Westerly. But we got some 60s along the Cape right now, so not too bad. So here's that front. So moving through the area, looks like it'll mostly be pushed through the area by 9-10 a.m. this morning, and that's going to just keep us a little bit cooler for the day. So we don't really warm up a whole lot from where we're sitting at right now. So we'll see some of those low to mid 60s along the Cape and coastline, and then we'll be a little bit warmer as you head further inland, keeping those sunny skies around with us for the day. And again, like I said, a little bit cooler. Winds northeast, we're going to say mostly about 15 miles an hour, but we could die down a bit at times. But gusts will be up to 20 miles an hour just as that front's trying to make its way through the area. I'm going to have more details on your forecast in just a moment.
At 6:31 now to today's other headlines, some 50 on terror. Let's send it back to meteorologist Skylar Spindler with your forecast on the 6th.
Well, we're starting out a little warm this morning, which is pretty nice because we were very warm yesterday, but today we're going to see a little bit of a difference in temperature. So we're sitting in those 60s right now, 64 in Norwood, it's 63 in Smithfield, it's 60 in Newport. So we even have some of these 60s along the Cape area. So we got 64 in Chatham this morning. Newport, like I said, 60 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast at about 13 miles an hour. But this cold front's moving through the area right now. So it's going to take a couple hours to get through our area. This is called a backdoor cold front because of the direction it's moving in, but it's going to drop those temperatures down a bit. So that means we're not going to see the warm up like we saw yesterday. So the temperatures we're sitting at now, we're not going to warm up too much from that as we head into the afternoon. So a lot of mid and upper 60s around the area, a few of us getting into the 70s. As you head back maybe towards the Cape or coastline, you'll be in those lower 60s. We're going to keep those winds around northeast 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. And here's a look at the coastal forecast. I know a lot of people have taken the week off. So if you may be heading out doing a little golf or heading out to do the beach, a little bit cooler today, or excuse me, for tomorrow and Wednesday, actually cooler for today as well. But by the time you get into Thursday, 74, so we start to warm back up. Water temperature still a little chilly, so we're still in those upper 50s. I'm going to have more details on the rain that's going to be moving into the forecast coming up here on the 6th.
All right, let's take a look outside at the Washington Bridge right now. Whether ABC 6 Skycam or cars on the road at this time. Let's take a look at some travel times for you. If you're traveling 195.
And now, your ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist, Skylar Spindler.
We're looking outside and it is a beautiful morning. We got a lot of clear and sunny skies for the day, but we're going to be a little bit cooler. So right now we're pretty warm to start. So we're looking at some of these lower 60s around the area, 64 degrees in Norwood. It's 64 in Taunton. Even as we head out on the Cape area, we're looking at 64 degrees in Chatham, 62 in Hyannis. So not too bad for a morning start. And even for the Northeast, we got a lot of 80s. So 83 in Philly, 83 in Buffalo. We got a little bit of a cool pocket right here. That's that rain-cooled air from that low-pressure system that's been stuck over the Carolinas over the entire weekend. But for us, moving through the morning time and into the afternoon, We're going to stay a little bit cooler because this front is moving through right about now. That'll be making its way through the area. That's why those winds are starting to pick up a bit. But we'll keep those temperatures only a few degrees warmer than what we're seeing currently. So we'll keep our temperatures slightly cooler again for tomorrow, especially if we're comparing it to what we saw yesterday. But moving into these future winds. So again, we've got these northeast winds that will be moving in. We're mostly going to see about 15 miles an hour around the area. We'll have those gusts up to 20 miles an hour. You can kind of see here. They're going to be the heaviest this morning, and then they start to taper off later on this afternoon. And so we'll start to see those die down later on. So sunny today and slightly cooler. We'll keep you in the lower to mid 60s along the Cape and the coastline. And then moving further inland, we'll keep you a little bit warmer with that sunshine around. But for the marine forecast, a little bit cold if you're heading out on the water. 9:11 a.m. is the low tide. High tide comes in at 4:24. And then we're going to have those waves swells at about 1 to 2 feet. Sunset's about 8:10 this evening. And the water temperature in Newport is 59 degrees. So allergy forecast still bothering us a bit. Oak, birch, and grass are our primary contributors to this. So today we're running a little bit in that medium to high range. Tomorrow we taper down a bit, and same for Wednesday. Thursday kind of start to rise back up, but at least for Friday with the spotty rain moving in, that's probably going to suppress a little bit, so it won't be so bad on Friday. So expect some spotty afternoon showers through Friday and into the evening hours. Again, like I said, very spotty, very scattered through the day, so not going to be a rain out or washout event. But for today and tomorrow, we're in the 70s. Wednesday, 80, so we're starting to warm up. And then by Thursday and Friday, we really see those mid-80s warming up. And then by Saturday, because we have that rain that's moving through Friday night, on Saturday, we're not going to be as warm. So again, a little bit cooler after that rain-cooled air gets us through the area. And then we start to warm back up again.
Looking very summer-esque.
Yeah, feeling very summer-esque too. So if you took the week off, this was a great week to do that.
Great week to do that, yeah.
Today the winds will be a little breezy, but after today, if you're playing some golf or
hitting
anything,
golf,
yeah, you're doing anything like
beach.
that. Going to a baseball game maybe.
Yeah.
The Sox are in town this week, all week long. So
Absolutely.
it'll
Baseball
be-
season, of course.
It'll be a great time to get outdoors and enjoy a game.
Yep, absolutely. Let's talk about the big game tonight. Let's talk about the Celtics in the playoffs. Celtics going for NBA